Ken Rashad, the 2024 SWAC Football Media Day. We're joined by Florida A&M head football coach, James Cozie. Coach, talk about your anticipations going into the 2024 season, first year, and everything else that goes along with it.
Well, I mean, new year, same expectations. You know, trust me, we're well aware of us being the reigning national champions. We're well aware of being the SWAC, reigning SWAC champions. But I think, you know, for us, we got to take care of what we have to take care of in the building. You know, we got a really veteran group. We do have some transfer guys, but we'll be talented, but it's going to be extremely important that we play together, and that's where we're at.
Was it somewhat surprising that when the predicted order of finish came out that they selected Alabama State to finish first in the East as opposed to FAMU? I mean, was that somewhat?
No, not at all. You know, I actually picked us third. You know,
really?
When we asked us to do it, so I picked us third. We again, just because you have the most talent doesn't mean you have the best team. And ultimately, to win the SWAC East championship, it's going to go to the best team. So, but no, I wasn't really surprised at all. You know, excited where we are. That's, you know, like I said, I had us a little bit lower. There's going to be a lot of competition throughout this season, and and again, these awards and these picks, these are good to have. But you want to be first and have the most all SWAC selections at the end of the year compared to stuff during the preseason.
So, Coach, when you look at there's always that natural transition to go when you go from one coaching staff to another, or a transition at the top. What difficulty or challenges did you face in recruiting with respect to all that took place?
Well, you know, we had some difficulties in the beginning, right? As your interim, when I was the interim head coach, and guys not necessarily wanting to come to a spot where maybe you didn't know who the head coach was going to be, but once everything was kind of going in late January, early February, guys that were coming to our university, visiting our university, seeing our university, understanding that, hey, you're coming into a place that's won championships and that's winning, and obviously each month has gone by where we're getting these revelations that we're going to be playing on television 12 times, or we're going to go play the University of Miami. So our selling point wasn't really all that difficult when you put everything in front of these guys as far as what the expectations are and also the opportunity that these guys will have. So hey, we're going to be the only team playing in week 0 on national television, right? We're going to be the only team, that's going to have another MEAC team come to our place and play at our, on our first home game. So there's a lot of positives as far as playing for Florida A&M, and then ultimately having probably one of the best or the toughest home venues in the country. So again, getting the guys on campus, getting them around our players, getting them around our staff. Once we were able to solidify that, to be honest with you, the recruiting was a little bit easier than I thought.
Okay. So there's the challenge of the transition with respect to who the head coach would eventually be, which is you. But with that aside, talk about, and I've asked all of the coaches this, with respect to the landscape of the transfer portal and NIL being what it is. How difficult was that in and of itself with respect to recruiting?
Well, and again, obviously the success that we had, right? It was, I guess for us, it was probably a little bit easier to recruit when you go 12-1, and you win the championship that we won. And you ask a recruit who's playing in a Power 4 conference, did you watch our game in the Celebration Bowl? And their answer is yes. Did you have a chance to come to any of our games growing up or whatever the case may be? And the answer is yes, right? So our brand, being the FAMU brand and having the success FAMU's had over the last couple of years, and the strong foundation that Coach Simmons has built, it's been. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had some battles with some other universities, but I think we've won most of them primarily because of the success that we've had in the past, and what we're looking forward to do in the future.
Talk about some of your players, some key names that we can expect to hear during the course of the season.
Well, it's some of the same guys that you heard about last year. Offensively, you got Kelvin Dean, the MVP of the Celebration Bowl. Our entire offensive line is going to be it's going to be really, really good. Those guys are going to be, as far as the Jalen Goss, the Ashton Grabels, the TJ Lees, as far as those guys could take us, that'll deem the success that we're going to have with the program. We got Jamari Gassett, he'll be our next All-American, All-Conference wide receiver. So now offensive coordinator Coach Henry's doing a really, really good job. New name as far as making the play calls, but he's embraced it. He's done a really, really good job on that side of the football. Defensively, we had one of the best defensive, not just in the conference but in the country, right? So we got Kendall Bowler, Alan Smith, Eric Horn, Deco Wilson. quite a few guys that were named to the preseason list. But we all, losing guys like Isaiah Major and Cheney, and Gentle Hunt, we had to go get some other guys. So, and I thought we did a really, really good job recognizing who those guys were going to be to replace some of our losses.
Florida A&M head coach James Cozie. Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate your time.